All right, let's just dive right in. We are talking about something we have all felt, that feeling of being completely and utterly stuck. We're all just waiting for that lightning bolt of motivation to hit us. But what if I told you that waiting is the very thing that's holding you back?
This is the question, isn't it? We ask ourselves this all the time. You're staring at that blank page or the empty gym or that project that just feels way too big. You know exactly what you should be doing, but actually getting your body to do it, it feels, well, impossible. So why is that first little push so dang hard?
Well, here's the twist. The problem isn't your inability to start. The real problem is you're focusing on the wrong thing entirely. The whole way we've been taught to think about motivation, it's fundamentally backward.
And that leads us right into what I call the motivation trap. It's this vicious cycle where we're waiting for a feeling that never seems to show up, and all that waiting just digs us deeper and deeper into doing nothing at all. Tell me if any of this sounds familiar. You just feel stuck. Or maybe it's more intense, like you've really hit rock bottom. You might even feel like the entire universe is conspiring against you to make sure you don't move forward. These feelings are totally real, they're powerful, and they're what keeps that trap slammed shut.
So, this is the core mistake. This is the big one we all make. We have this belief that we need to feel ready, feel excited, feel that huge rush of motivation before we can even take the first step. We're treating motivation like it's a ticket to entry, but it's not. And here's the hard truth, if you're sitting around waiting for motivation to just show up at your doorstep, well, you could be waiting forever. Because motivation isn't some visitor that drops by, it's something you create.
So, it is officially time to bust this myth wide open. Let's take a look at what people who consistently get things done actually do. Because, spoiler alert, it is the complete opposite of what most of us have been led to believe. Check this out. It's so simple. The myth we all believe is, motivation comes first, then that leads to action, and then we get success. But the reality? It flips that script completely on its head. It's action first. That initial small action is what creates the motivation, which then fuels more action, and that is what leads to success.
Just let that sink in for a second. The people who are consistently making moves, making progress, they are not waiting around for the perfect mood to strike. They're basically running on a totally different operating system.
The secret isn't some magical, endless well of motivation. No way. The real secret is the skill of acting even when, and honestly, especially when, you feel zero motivation at all. That right there, that's the whole game.
And that's what real discipline actually looks like. It has nothing to do with feeling motivated all the time. It's the ability to disconnect your actions from your feelings. It's choosing to do what needs to be done no matter what your emotional weather forecast is for the day. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a nice idea, but this isn't just some feel-good concept. There's actual science that explains why this works, and it's all about a cool psychological principle called the Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect it's just fascinating. It basically says that once we start something, our brain creates this kind of mental tension. It's like an itch in your brain that you just have to scratch. And that tension, it doesn't really go away until the task is finished. So think of it this way. Our brains are literally wired to want completion. They hate open loops. They can't stand an unresolved story or an unfinished job. And we can totally use this little psychological quirk to our advantage. Just by starting, even in the smallest, most imperfect way, you create a cliffhanger that your brain will naturally push you to resolve.
Okay, so enough with the theory. How do we actually put this into practice? How do we get this working for us, like right now? It is way simpler than you think. You don't need hours. You literally just need a few minutes to get that ball rolling.
To make this work, we've got to play by a new set of rules. First, stop looking for perfection. It doesn't exist. Second, that right time you're waiting for, it's a total myth. You have to start right where you are with whatever you've got. And maybe most important of all, you have to start ridiculously small. So here it is, your dead simple, no excuses allowed action plan. Set a timer on your phone for 5 minutes, or heck, even 3 minutes. Then pick one laughably small task. Tiny. Like write one single sentence, do one push-up, open the document. That's it. Your only goal here is to begin. The goal is not to finish the whole thing. The goal is just to start the engine.
Because when you take that first tiny step, something almost magical happens. You've just created that open loop in your brain. The Zeigarnik effect starts to kick in, that internal friction begins to fade away, and suddenly you've got a little bit of momentum. And that momentum often carries you way further than you ever expected.
And this is why this is such a big deal. This is not just a little trick to get one thing done today. By proving to yourself over and over that action creates its own motivation, you actually start to rewire your entire way of thinking. This tiny little habit can lead to massive, absolutely insane changes over time.
So I'm going to leave you with this. Forget about the huge mountain you think you have to climb tomorrow. Just focus on the single, tiny pebble you can pick up right now. So, what is it? What's one tiny, ridiculously small task you can begin in the next 5 minutes?